Not just the mercy watchers, but everybody. Hi, everybody. Today we're here with Rich Meyer, and he's going to tell us an amazing story about the school that he leads. And we're here at the Duc In Altum Summit for a high school network. So, Rich, tell us a little bit about you, what you do, and how that all came together.
All right. Well, Dr. Ludwick, thanks for having a quick conversation with me. It's good to meet you and good to
Sure.
spend a little bit of time with you. Again, my name is Rich Meyer. I'm the president of JSerra Catholic High School.
Mm-hmm.
We are a school that was founded about 20 years ago in 2003. Independent Catholic school, high school, co-ed, about 1,300 students in Orange County, California, right in between LA and San Diego. But unique, right? We were founded by a group of lay people, parents who were seeking to really have a vibrant education for their kids at the time. And I hail from Chicago, so came out about, let's see, it was about 2012. So I've been out there for about 11 years or so. Midway through the school's journey as the school's president. So moved my wife and our, at the time, 7 kids out from Chicago and headed out as missionaries in our own country to sow the word, right? In the middle of Orange County. And it's been a blessing ever since.
Yeah, great. So tell us, what is the special charism of JSerra?
Boy, that's we get that question asked a lot because we're not a school that was founded by a religious order.
Right.
So we don't lean on the charism of a 100-year-old religious order. We're not a diocesan school either. So as an independent Catholic school, we're a bit of an amalgamation of a lot of beautiful things, I think, in the church.
Yeah.
We have Dominican sisters, 5 that teach full-time on our campus.
Yeah.
The Norbertines of Silverado Canyon of St. Michael's Abbey in Southern California, they minister our sacraments.
Oh,
They'll celebrate
nice.
daily masses and hear regular confessions of our students. We have net missionaries from Minnesota who serve on our campus and helping really connect and create great relationships with our students to invite them to be part of our campus ministry experience and retreats. But also we have a very entrepreneurial spirit. Right? We were founded by a group of businessmen who were excited about ways to think about education in a manner that was unique and creative and not hampered by, in many ways, bureaucracy. And I think that's been also a bit of the hallmark of our school, that we've been very entrepreneurial in our approach toward education. And it's pretty rare to find a school that has as many different, I would say, influences, spiritual influences in one spot, right, as we do.
Well, what it sounds like to me is that the namesake of the school comes through in all of the things you just described.
Yeah, for sure. Right. So JSerra Catholic High School, our founders, especially living in California, there's a lot of things referenced by St. Juniper Serra.
Right.
So we have this unique amalgamation of J and Serra for Juniper Serra, so we kind of crunch it all together to get JSerra.
Right.
And it's a really neat founding story because our property, actually, where we're housed, where we're located, happens to be on Juniper Serra Road.
Oh, nice.
Well before we even knew that was going to be the name of the school in the early founding years. So there were many points along the way that we saw our patron guiding us to be the school that we've become, and we're right in the backyard of one of the missions that he founded in San Juan Capistrano in July of 1776. So there's a lot of really rich cultural ties to our patron, St. Juniper Serra.
So that sounds awesome. So one of the angles that we like to ask people about here is, how do you balance, if you do, the sort of like the tradition of Catholic education, which is a rich patrimony, right? Goes back 2,000 years, with what has always been a hallmark of Catholic education, and that is the innovation, right? We're always the tip of the spear on pushing the human experience in a way that combines it with the richness of God's love. So talk to us about how you make that balance work.
Yeah. I mean, I think what's, for us as a school, what we're realizing is that there's so much innovation that can be done, but the sake of innovation, or innovation for the sake of innovation, really should ultimately be questioned. And I'll give you a quick example. So during the, prior to the pandemic, we've been spending a lot of time as a school thinking about online education, right? Partly as a way to increase student experiences in terms of what they were learning throughout their high school experience.
Right.
Partly for the ability to make schedules more flexible for students with online learning. And to be frank, also, frankly, as a way also to continue to generate additional revenue for the school. We've maximized our student enrollments, so we're full at the school. And so high schools, particularly an independent school like ours, we're always thinking about, well, how do you, there are so many levers to bring revenue into the school.
Right.
But fast forward after the pandemic experience and watching what happened and transpired with students, frankly, across the country and the world for that matter. And we saw during that 3-month period where our students were, like the rest of the country, in essence, in lockdown, and how much they suffered, to be frank, and how poor a substitute the personal touch removed from the learning experience, at least at the high school level, and frankly, the younger grades as well, is that we kind of took an abrupt 180 away from that. Now, and we still offer, for example, online education and opportunities, but we're no longer pursuing this as a pathway for us to move forward. Right? And so I mentioned that in light of your question, Dr. Ludwick, because it's for us, it's about always putting ourselves at the service of the human person and their heart. And because something is old doesn't mean that it's not. Doesn't mean that it doesn't have value today.
Sure.
And I think that's a challenge too, right? You live in a culture, we're in Orange County, a very affluent part of the country, where there can be a certain sense of demand or push for the newest, the best, the most spangled thing, whatever that may be. But there's a lot of beauty and richness into a lot of our tradition. And so we see that in the way that we interface with technology.
Right.
We have a cell phone-free campus as an example. Which the new battle the old battle in Catholic schools used to be skirt length. Now it's skirt length and it's use of cell phones. Right? But these are things that we embrace. We embrace because they're at the service of the heart of young people.
Right.
And in our effort to recognize that we're living here in the middle of the world, and students will have mobile devices or students will have access to technology. But how do we create a space that focuses on the interpersonal?
Right.
It kind of continues to be a hallmark of the kind of formational experience we're trying to create for kids.
Well, what a great gift that is too, really. The dignity of the human person sitting right at the center of the student experience at JSerra High School. Well, Rich, thanks so much for joining us today. Thank you all for joining us, and God bless you.